Teresa from Life Beyond Diabetes, and as you can see, I am in this gorgeous location here on the Oregon coast where I have come to take a couple days away, still managing to maintain social distancing, and sorry, something just popped up, and we've rented a little place that's private, just my husband and my dogs, and having a great relaxing time. But I owe you a Facebook Live today, and I promised a little bit of sciencey information about the difference between nutritional ketosis and ketoacidosis. So these things are quite different, but often confused even by medical professionals. Becoming less so, medical professionals are becoming more familiar with the ketogenic diet and what nutritional ketosis means. But this is a big confusion between a lot of people. People think that ketosis is bad and keto diets and keto lifestyle can be bad because of the risk of ketoacidosis. So the risk of ketoacidosis from a ketogenic diet is very, very low. And I'll talk about that in a minute. Even though a couple weeks ago I talked about how I ended up with ketoacidosis, that was a really weird thing. And I'm going to talk about why that happened for me, but also why it probably won't happen for anybody else who's taking good precautions about it. So first of all, nutritional ketosis. Nutritional ketosis is when your body switches from using carbohydrates as fuel to using your own stored fat, or fat that you take in your diet for fuel. So what happens when that happens, your body, you release ketones, and it's actually the ketones then, the fat turns into ketones, and the ketones then fuel your body. So you have a blood ketone level. So the ketones show up in your blood if you're doing blood tests or testing with a blood meter. And in nutritional ketosis, the number on the blood meter will be somewhere between 1 and 3 for most people. So to put that into perspective, ketoacidosis, which is the dangerous thing, doesn't even begin to come into play at all until you hit a number of about 10. Ketoacidosis, as I've mentioned, is a life-threatening condition where you have a high buildup of blood ketones, and it's very complicated physiologically, all the things that it does to you, but it's very dangerous, and it can lead to coma and even death. And when I talked about my experience in the hospital, that was ketoacidosis. And what happened, so for the reason ketoacidosis happens and that you get a buildup is that it only happens to people who do not have sufficient insulin. Also sometimes as a medication reaction, as I mentioned with the SGLT2 inhibitors, things like Invokana and Jardiance and Farxiga. Those are the brand names. Like off the top of my head, I don't remember the generic names. But anyway, the ketoacidosis generally only happens to people who do not have sufficient insulin. And the reason is that insulin clears the ketones out of your body. So when you have enough insulin on board, your body can do the ketogenic diet, can do all the, switch from using carbohydrates as a fuel to using ketones, which come from fat, as a fuel. So, and then the ketones are kept at a nice minimal level because the insulin clears the ketones out of your body. So, again, a lot of complicated reasons why people that don't have insulin, how they react. Oh, so the numbers. The numbers is for nutritional ketosis, as I mentioned, on the blood ketone meter are generally between 1.0 and 3.0. It can go higher for some people, but at that point, with my own clients, I recommend that they really try and keep it around 3, maybe 3.5 at the max. Anyway, for ketoacidosis, you start going into ketoacidosis and being sick if your blood ketone level is above 10. And really dangerous levels don't happen until about 20. So now that doesn't mean you mess around with getting close to 10. There's no benefit to being close to 10. But all this to say, I think that it is very, very important to measure blood ketones. A lot of people don't recommend that, and maybe it's my own personal experience with the danger of ketoacidosis because I did not have enough insulin on board. But I think it's important, particularly as you're getting started, when we often don't know if you've got enough insulin on board. If you have a history of really high blood sugars, it's really important to check blood ketones to make sure that you're staying out of ketoacidosis. But if you're talking to your medical provider and they say, oh no, you can't do a ketogenic diet because that puts you in the hospital, this is an opportunity to explain to them the difference between nutritional ketosis and ketoacidosis. So any questions, I'm of course always happy to answer those. I'm going to get back to my vacation in this wonderful foggy Oregon coast that I'm at, and I will see you all next week at 2:30 Pacific. Bye.